Chapter 3. I wobbled back into the kitchen, anxious to steady myself before I heard the worst. What if it was Arthur, his death ending all of our dreams? I imagined myself crying at his funeral, pictured my registered walk down the aisle to meet Barney Graves. Mama met me at the door. Why didn't you invite him in? Her neck craned to see past me. I held out the telegram in reply. Mama's flushed face drained white as she snatched it from me and looked to Daddy. Then I thought of Will. My brother lived every moment in danger on the Western Front. I sat hard in the nearest chair. Mama didn't sit, and she didn't say a word. She pulled a hairpin from the tight knot of pecan-colored hair at the back of her head and slipped it beneath the flap of the envelope. I winced, the tears of the paper ripping through my heart, but Mama remained unruffled. I admired her strength in that moment. Determining to show the same fortitude, I sat up straight, waiting for the words I felt sure would shatter me. Mama let out her breath, never taking her eyes off the paper. It's my sister, Annabelle. She's ill. Her lips curled into a frown. My whole body relaxed. Aunt Annabelle. She sent a short note and the shot at my graduation last year, but I had only seen her twice in my whole life. The first time I'd been 7 or 8 years old. I remember a soft hug and a wide smile, green eyes and smooth skin. She skipped with me, hand in hand, to the chicken coop to gather eggs, asking questions all along the way. Did I like school? Who was my boyfriend? Was Will a good big brother? Did I like to play with dolls or climb trees? And when I answered, she listened. We found 12 eggs that day. She cradled each one before setting it in the basket. I wonder if she knew how much Mama hated when I broke the eggs before they made it to the kitchen. But when she and Mama came together, Aunt Annabelle changed. The laughter in her voice stilled, and the sparkle in her eyes vanished. She and Mama spoke in short, awkward sentences. I didn't understand the distance between them. I only knew Mama disapproved of her sister, and Mama's disapproval was nothing to be trifled with. Yet something in me had always caught into those memories of my aunt. It gave me the courage to ask, "What should we do, Mama?" Do? The spark of scorn in that one word could have started a prairie fire. I glanced at Daddy. He wiped his mouth with his napkin and pushed back the chair. It scraped across the kitchen floor, almost as a command to listen to the words that followed. "She's all alone in the world, Margaret, except for us." Mama plunged her hands into the water-filled tub. I watched her scrub a pot, rinse it, and score it again. Daddy stood, his presence filling the small room. "I expect you'll do the right thing by her. She is your kin." 3 steps, and the screen door slammed shut behind him. Mama's hands stilled. I held my breath, revealing in Arthur's safety, and Will's too. My face warmed as I realized the telegram about Arthur wouldn't have come to us anyway. It would have gone to his Mama. The clank and splatter of Mama's dishwashing began again. "I guess you could go." At first I wasn't sure I heard the words at all. Maybe they were in my head, the words I wanted her to say. Even if I was 19 now, Mama wouldn't like the idea of me traveling alone. I stared at her stiff shoulders. Her hands never abandoned their activities. Yes, I must have imagined the words. I reached across the table to pick up Daddy's plate. "Could you do that, Rebecca?" My attention jerked back to Mama. "Do what?" Her shoulders curved in an uncharacteristic slump as she wiped dripping hands on her apron. "Go to Texas and take care of your aunt." Texas? Where Arthur zipped across the endless skies? My breath stuck in my chest. Only the Lord could make Mama willing to send me to Texas to Arthur right now. Arthur was my God-ordained future. This could mean nothing else. By myself? My voice squeaked a bit, but whether from excitement or nerves, I couldn't quite tell. Mama leaned against the Wilson cabinet and folded her arms across her chest. Yes, I wanted to shout and dance, but I didn't think she'd appreciate that. I'd do my best, Mama. Her lips lifted in a small smile, as if she approved for my answer, but she seemed to consider me for a long time afterwards. I didn't look away. I wanted her to know I was old enough and mature enough to go to Texas. I longed to take on the challenge, a change of scenery, just as my brother had, and if such an adventure took me closer to Arthur, all the better. By evening, my suitcase and handbag stood by the door, ready for our pre-sunshine departure for the train station. Mama had spouted off more instructions for the journey than I could hope to remember, but I knew my stop was Prater's Junction, Texas. Mama figured someone there would be able to direct me to Aunt Adabelle's place. I had no idea of the distance between Prater's Junction and Dallas, but trains went everywhere these days, didn't they? Maybe Arthur could hire a team and buggy or even an automobile and come to me. We'd manage it somehow, I felt sure. Long after the lights were extinguished, I crept downstairs, avoiding the squeaky place on the 5th stair, and along the well-trod hall. In the parlor, I fumbled to ignite the wick of the smallest lamp. It finally glowed a tiny circle of light. The October air seeped through my nightdress as I sat at the writing desk, the pen's nib poised over the blank page. A tiny prick of black escaped, blemishing the pristine paper and overcoming my inhabilitations. I'm coming to you, my darling Arthur. Tomorrow night I will be in Prater's Junction, Texas, at the home of my Aunt Annabelle Williams. Please address your letters to me there. I wait with great anticipation to see your face again. Your forever love, Rebecca Grace Hendricks. I rubbed warmth into my chilly fingers before addressing the envelope. Stamped, I extinguished the lamp and made my way to the kitchen and slipped the letter into my handbag. I'd mail it tomorrow along the way. Then I would wait. Arthur would find me soon by letter or in person. With careful steps, I crept back to my bedroom. But I didn't sleep. Instead, I spent the night at my window, my chin resting on the low sill, my gaze following the moon's journey across the star-pocketed sky. The Lord finally had seen fit to deliver me from Downingtown. Arthur wasn't the only one spreading new wings. All right, I'll see you next week for Chapter 4.